The history of art is littered with epicenters. This spring at Bonhams in London, we will be showcasing some of the works that were created in the white heat of these particular moments. And some of the absolute totems, the roots of these movements, are on show in this exhibition. Rudolf Stingel's Untitled from 2002 continues in this vein, one of the most versatile and skilled artists of his generation, and one of the most revered figures of the late 20th century. The artists in the mid-1990s started to clad galleries in this material and invited collaboration with the viewers that became participants in the artistic practice. This culminated the year after the execution of this work in 2003 at the Venice Biennale, when he showed these works with such an incredible reaction. This is a radical, provocative piece, and due to its size being such a jewel-like example from this series, it is unprecedented at auction. Oval from 1958 is one of the first pieces using the standing nails, which it was to become so well known for. This is an artist trying to build something from nothing and create a visual landscape and language totally of his own. Alongside it, Shozo Shimamoto, later known as a member of the Gutai group, created a response to European experimentations with tar and puncturing the surface in this absolute masterpiece of Untitled from 1951. Chirago is perhaps the most radical of all of them. In the piece here, we see a late work from the artist, using his now famous technique of suspending himself above the canvas plane laid flat on the floor from a rope and using very heavy oil paint on the canvas and manipulating that with his feet, with his hands, sometimes with his body. Not dissimilar to the way that the artist Yves Klein in the late 1950s used his models to manipulate the canvas.
Appearing on the market for the first time, Hesse Ecke from 1987 from Georg Baselitz exemplified Baselitz at his best, a consummate painter in complete control of his medium, constantly challenging what has come before. This is the perfect chance to acquire one of his best work from the 80s.
Any analysis of the op art movement will recognise it as one of the truly great international movements. Right at its heart was Victor Vasarely, a French-Hungarian, and alongside him the Polish artist Wojciech Fangor, with whom Bonhams achieved a world record just last November in New York. We have not just works by these figures, but perhaps the greatest works by these figures ever to have come onto the market. Lichtballett from 1969 is perhaps the most important sculptural installation that the great Zero artist Otto Pina ever created. In fact, this is a point that is reinforced when in 2014 the Guggenheim in New York staged the now celebrated exhibition Zero Countdown to Tomorrow. They decided to use this image of the Lichtballett, which was featured centrally in the exhibition, as their marketing image.
Paul Orrego's Obedience from 1995 is a monumental work, measuring in excess of 162 centimetres high. In fact, the sitter is almost life-size. The richly gestural surface complexity of the present work demonstrates the artist at her very best. Keith Haring's Untitled from 1983 is a remarkable work, bursting with energy, vitality and life. A vase of this form and magnitude, so fully decorated, rarely comes to market. This work comes to Bonhams completely fresh to the market, having been purchased at auction over 25 years ago, and comes to sale with an estimate of £100,000 to £150,000.
Many of these works represent a moment in time, a moment of jeopardy, where the artists were putting their reputations on the lines to create something primal and something that really articulated their experience of the world at the time. Many of those works have lain in private collections for decades since execution, and so the opportunity to see them for the first time in public is thrilling, and it brings home all the more the influence that is still reverberating through the artistic community.